What's up YouTube, it's your bro here, and today we're going to talk about the best basic decks that you can build. I already have every single one built for every class, so we're going to start with the Mage. We have Arcane Missiles and Frostbolt for easy, cheap removal. We have the Swamp Ooze to destroy our opponent's weapons. We have the Bloodfen Raptor, which is better than the Crocodile in my opinion. The one extra attack really does help. You have Arcane Intellect for later card draw. Ironfur Grizzly, just a 3-drop, he's average. You have the Shattered Sun Cleric that can buff other minions so you can get extra value. Fireballs, so you can either take out a big creature or use it to go face and finish the game. Polymorph for annoying creatures with Divine Shield, Legendary since we don't have any, and anything like that. You have the Chillwind Yeti, he's probably the best 4-drop that we can get. Good attack, good HP. We have the Gnomish Inventor for later card draw. This is one of the cards that you want to use when you're almost out of cards or it's ending the end of the game. We have the Senjin for aggro decks that can get out of hand rather quickly. We have the Water Elemental, which this one's really neat here. This one will freeze anything it touches, which misses it in its next attack. So it's really nice when a warrior equips a weapon and we can just keep freezing him the whole time, and he can't even use his weapon. We have the Ogre for our big 6-drop, and it's important here that he has 6 attack. Anything over 7, you'll learn later on, will get killed by a big Game Hunter. The big Game Hunter card kills anything with 7 attack. And then we have the Flame Strike here, which is good removal, AoE removal. 4 damage is a lot. Next up we have the Priest. We have Holy Smite for cheap removal. Power Word Shield gives a minion 2 HP and draws a card. The Cleric, whenever a minion is healed, you draw a card. It's really good to use Power Word Shield on the Cleric on turn 1 with the coin or turn 2. Shadow Word Pain, destroy minion with 3 or less attack. Nice to use on a Senjin or anything of that nature. Ooze, get rid of the weapons. Raptor, once again, just average. Shadow Word Death, destroy a minion with 5 attack or more. Super nice to have against some legendaries that you're going to face. Ironfur Grizzly, average. Shattered Sun Cleric, buffs a minion, get more value. Chillwind Yeti, best 4-drop in my opinion. You have 1 Ogre Magi. It gives +1 spell damage. So this Smite that did 2 damage now does 3. So try and use those in conjunction. You have the Shield Master for aggro decks. Holy Nova. It's a nice AoE removal, and it also heals you. So if you have a Cleric down and he's hurt and you use this, you'll deal damage to everything, you'll heal yourself and get cards. Super nice. Which is also why we have the Dark Scale Healer. Restores 2 health to all friendly characters. You have the Ogre, best 6-drop. And then you have Mind Control. We only run 1 of these in the deck because if you get 2 in your hand early, it's pretty much game over because you don't have the cards to keep up. Next up, the Warlock. We have Mortal Coil. Deals 1 damage, and if it kills it, it draws a card. Good against aggro decks or anything that just has 1 HP left. Soulfire deals 4 damage to start a random card. Good to finish the game or good to kill a decent sized creature mid-game. You have Elven Archer, deal 1 damage. You can use it offensively for aggro decks, or you can use it for a card later on we'll talk about. You have the Ooze for weapons. The average 2-drop. Shadow Bolt, 4 damage to a minion. Good against mid-game creatures. You have the Ironfur Grizzly, he's average. The Cleric to buff yours. You have Hellfire, good AoE removal, although you have to see there it says all in capitals. It will deal 3 damage to your characters as well. You have the Chillwind Yeti, best 4-drop. Ogre Magi, +1 spell damage. So if you use this guy and then the Hellfire, you'll do 4 damage. Or the Shadow Bolt, you'll do 5 damage. You have the Senjin for the aggro decks. Healer to heal yourself by 2. That's basically a free life tap that you're going to get, because life tap is the Warlock's hero power. You get a card but do 2 damage to yourself. And here's the Gurubashi Berserker. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain 3 attack. You can use this guy on turn 5, and on the next turn follow it up with an Elven Archer. So he would have 6 HP then, but he'll have 5 attack, so kind of a decent play there. Or you could follow up with an Ogre or the Dreadifernal, deal 1 damage to all other characters. Once again, it does it to everyone, even the heroes. and it would also do it to this guy to buff him. So there's a lot of synergy going on in this deck. The Druid. We have Innervate, which gives 2 mana crystals this turn only. So on turn 1, if you use this, you can play a 3-drop. If you use this on turn 2, you can play a 4-drop like the Yeti. We have Claw, give your hero 2 attack this turn and 2 armor, good cheap removal. 1 Mark of the Wild to buff up a minion and get more value. Wild Growth. This gains an empty mana crystal. So if you use this on turn 2, the following turn you will have 4 mana. If you use this on turn 5, the following turn you will have 7 mana. If you use this on turn 10, when you have all your mana crystals, you will actually get to draw a card for 2. So sometimes it's hard to figure out if you need to use it early or save it for later to draw a card. Ooze for weapons. Raptor, average 2. Kobold. This guy is super nice to have in conjunction with Swipe. Deals 4 damage to an enemy and 1 damage to all and other enemies. Instead, if you use a Kobold then the Swipe, he'll do 5 damage to an enemy and 2 to all other enemies. You have your average 3, Iron for Grizzly, for aggro decks, whatever have you. The Shattered Sun Cleric for a free buff, for value. The Yeti, of course. Gnomish Inventor. This card's used late in the game to draw cards. You don't want to use this on turn 4 unless you have to. You have the Senjin for aggro. You have Starfire here. It takes out a 5 HP creature, and you actually get to draw a card, so it's pretty nice. You have the Ogre, and then here the Druid has a special 8 mana, 8/8 taunt minion. So it's super nice if you make it to endgame with this, or you can, on turn 6, play an Innervate and then throw this guy down. On turn 4, you can play 2 of these and throw this guy down for a really good template. The Hunter. The Hunter is basically a beast deck. We have Hunter's Mark, change a minion's health to 1 HP. Good to kill something off that's big. Arcane Shot, deal 2 damage, cheap early removal. Tracking. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, draw 1 and discard the others. This one's really hard for new players to use, so this one's going to take some practice because you actually get rid of the other 2 cards you draw. You have the Boar, 1/1/1, but it's a charge minion. I'll go over why we have this later. The Timberwolf, your other beasts have 1 attack, just a helpful buff. You have the Raptor, of course, and this time we include the River Crocodile because he's a beast. We have Animal Companion, summon a random beast companion. There's 3 different ones you can get. A 4/4 taunt. You can get a 2/4 that gives +1 attack to all your other creatures, or you can get a 4/2 with charge. You have 2 kill commands. It deals 3 damage unless you have a beast, and it does 5 instead. You have the Razorfen Hunter. He just helps summon another boar that you can use with Houndmaster. Gives a friendly beast 2/2 and taunt. We have Multi-Shot. It deals 3 damage to 2 random enemies. They have to have 2 minions on the board or else it will not work. You have the Oasis Snapjaw, a big 4-drop with tons of HP, which is nice in conjunction with the Houndmaster as well. And here we have the Starving Buzzard. Whenever you summon a beast, draw a card. With this card, we want to play these boars or anything low we can, so we draw a lot of cards. You want to use this mainly towards endgame. In the Tundra Rhino, your beasts have charge. So basically, if you play this guy, he gains charge as well, and then everything you play afterwards that's a beast will gain charge as well. The Paladin, we have Blessing of Might, gives 3 attack, which you can use on your boar. That'll give it 4 attack, and you can use it to take out creatures real quickly. You have the Ooze, you have your Raptor, and this you have the Raid Leader, it gives your other minions +1 attack. The Paladin's hero power summons a 1/1 Silverhand Recruit, so with this guy it'll bump him up to 2 attack. It's good for trading. You have the Razorfen Hunter, which summons a 1/1 Boar, which the Raid Leader can buff as well. You have the Shattered Sun Cleric, and this you have the True Silver Champion. Whenever you attack with this, you restore 2 health to yourself. There's 2 charges and it does 4 damage, so it's pretty nice. You have the Blessings of Kings, give a minion +4/+4. You can use this on any minion really and get good value. Consecration, you have an AoE clear that does 2 damage to all minions. Good to, well, it does it to all enemies rather, but you do 2 damage to everything. It's really good against aggro decks. You have the Chillin' Yeti, the best 4-drop, Senjin for aggro, And here you have a Frostwolf Warlord. It gains +1/+1 for each other friendly minion on the battlefield. Very good when you have a full board of Silver Hands, or your Hunter with its boar, or maybe this boar too. So it's really nice when you can play them all in conjunction. You have the Ogre, of course, and here you have the Champion. Your other minions have +1/+1. So you can see there's a lot of buffing in this deck that helps outvalue your opponent. The Rogue, we have Backstab, deal 2 damage to an undamaged minion. It's good for early removal. Deadly Poison, give your weapon +2 attack, good for early removal. We have One Sap, which returns an enemy minion to your opponent's hand. It's good on creatures that you probably don't want down on the board that turn. You have the Ooze, the Raptor, and once again we use the Geomancer, +1 spell damage. So this would do 3 damage. Or the Fan of Knives, that does 1 damage to all enemy minions, you would actually do 2. So that's good for AoE. You have your average Grizzly, the Sun Cleric of course, the Yeti. Gnomish Inventor, once again, is used later on in the game when you're running out of cards, because the Rogue has a bunch of these early game removals. So if you get a lot of it in your hand, towards the mid game you might not have many cards, which is also why we include 1 Sprint, which draws 4 cards, but it also costs 7 mana, so it's quite expensive there. We have the Shield Master for aggro. We have 1 Assassin's Blade. You get 4 times you can use this, that does 3 damage. But say you equip this, and then a Deadly Poison, you're going to have 4 times you can use a 5 damage weapon, so it's pretty nice. Assassinate, destroy an enemy minion. It doesn't matter if they have Divine Shield or Taunt, they're just instantly gone. You have the Ogre, of course, and 1 Champion to buff your other minions if they stick to the board. The Shaman, we have Rockbiter Weapon, give a friendly character +3 attack this turn. You can even use it on your hero to give him 3 attack. You have the Boars, which can be combined with the Flame Tongue Totem, which gives adjacent minions +2 attack. So a boar by this totem will have 3 attack. Or if you use the Shaman's hero power to summon a random totem, that other totem will get 3 attack if it's next to it. You have to be next to this card though, so it's really important where you place your minions on the board. You have your Ooze for weapons, the average 2. Hex, transform a minion into a 0/1 frog with taunt. Basically gets rid of the enemy's legendaries or big monsters that you can't handle on that turn. Raid Leader for your hero power and your low level minions. The Hunter, you get value because you get 2 minions on the board, which you can combine with the Flame Tongue Totem. You have the Cleric to buff, the best 4-drop, the Yeti, and here we use the Dragonling mechanic. It's once again like the Hunter here, it summons another minion, it summons in a 2/1 Dragonling. You have the Senjin for early game, aggro decks, and here you have Bloodlust, give your minions 3 attack this turn. So if you get 4 monsters out and then you use this, it will do a lot of damage. You can basically use this to win the game. You have the Warlord, which once again, if you have a lot of minions out, you gain 1/1 for each other minion. And here we have a Fire Elemental. When you use this guy, you can deal 3 damage to any other character on the board. Super nice for removal. The Warrior, we have Execute, destroy damaged enemy minion. Good if they have a big minion that has taken some damage, but we can't get rid of it any other way. Whirlwind, deal 1 damage to all minions. Good against those early aggro decks. Along with Fiery War Axe, we get a weapon that does 3 damage twice. So that's pretty nice as well. You have Cleave, deal 2 damage to 2 random enemy minions, but they have to have 2 on the board. You have Heroic Strike, give your hero 4 attack this turn. It doesn't matter if you have a weapon or not, you can just attack with your face. You have the Ooze, destroy an opponent's weapon. The average Raptor. Here we have Shield Block, gain 5 armor and draw a card. If you get these in your early game hand, you want to mulligan them out. This is a card you want later on in the game when you're low on cards, basically. You have the Grizzly, 3, average 3. Your Cleric for buffing. The Yeti for the 4-drop. You also have the Gnomish Inventor here as well. You want these guys later on in the game when we're running low on cards. You have the Elite here, which is a 4/3 charge. Good to either throw down on 4 and go face, or finish the game, or, take out a minion that you need to. It's really nice because he has charge. You have the Shield Master for taunt, the aggros. Here we have an Arcanite Reaper. One of these does 10 damage, so it does 5 this turn, 5 the next. And then you have the Ogre.